Hey everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to another video. So now that the dust behind this story has settled a bit, I wanted to touch on some things that some other YouTubers haven't touched on. So let's get into what's really behind this triggering, controversial issue. So this high school principal, Miss Carlotta Outley Brown, a black woman, decided to implement a dress code for parents. Now, from what I understand, the James Madison School is a currently failing low performing high school in Houston. So Ms. Brown made it her goal to bring the school up to standard. And a part of meeting her goal is implementing cleanup culture. And so Ms. Brown decided to create a dress code for parents. So that was a controversy. That means no bonnets, no sagging, no pajamas, no panty lines, no tight dresses, no hair rollers, no leggings, and otherwise inappropriate and distracting clothing. And this was for parents. Now, some people are using big old college words and calling this principal's move elitist, discriminatory. I've heard racist. The term respectability politics is being thrown around a lot. But let's get behind the smoke and call it what it is, because I'm all about self-improvement and level up energy. And I will never have a problem saying what needs to be said. So I know a lot of people are going to be triggered listening to this, and they're not going to like what I have to say. But the only people who would be offended by setting a standard or code of conduct for impressionable children are people who are committed to being ratchet, ghetto, and ignorant. These are the people who are notorious for working against their best interests. First off, no woman should be defending her right to look a hot mess around her kids. Kids mirror everything, and that's including your presentation. So if you look sloppy, your kids are going to look sloppy. But let's get real honest. There are some people who see dropping their kids off at school as a babysitting service, as a way to get away from their kids. I used to be a public school teacher. I taught first grade. And a lot of these parents don't see education as an investment or as something that's shaping the minds of their children. They see schools as a reprieve from their kids and a temporary dumping ground, where they don't have to deal with the demands of parenting. And a lot of these public schools are filled with these ratchet parents and their ratchet kids. And those kids are usually the most disruptive as their needs are not being met at home, which is why charter schools, side note, are so appealing to parents who don't have the resources to send their kids to private school. And the people who do have the resources don't want their kids going to school with parents who wear bonnets. In my personal opinion, the principal's move was about the kids and raising the standards of the school, which raises the standards of the environment, which raises the standards of the school community, a community where your child spends 6 to 10 hours a day. So this principal's move was not about an attack on parents. Her move was about leadership. So why would you look a mess on purpose? Why look raggedy on purpose? Why defend looking your worst? No one's saying that you have to be dressed like Miss America or that you have to wear a tuxedo to drop off your kids, but why would you be against self-improvement? Now, I understand that many single or unsupported moms are already overworked and overwhelmed, and a lot of these struggling moms, they tend to let themselves go. So they tend to perceive criticism or being instructed on how to properly present themselves as an attack. But let's talk about the real elephant in the room, and that issue is class. Because I noticed that with a lot of triggering topics, especially on YouTube, we don't like to talk about class. Acknowledging that class exists makes people uncomfortable, makes black people uncomfortable. Talking about money makes people uncomfortable. And when you talk to people about self-improvement and leveling up, some people, not all, get offended. They take criticism to heart. And those who resist tend to double down on their defiance. So with class, what happens is we end up kind of playing this game of don't ask, don't tell, where we live in this open bubble of delusion, especially as it pertains to poverty and having a poverty mindset. But to be clear, let me make this distinction, and this is a very important distinction. Being poor isn't the same as having a poverty mindset. Being poor is not the same as having a poverty mind. A poverty mindset is a defeated mindset. That means you can be poor and still have a progressive mind. That means a progressive mind means that you will do what it takes to change your situation, to grow your situation, to build from your situation. That it means that you want better for your children. But a poverty mindset will always defend the right to be wrong and strong. A poverty mindset will always choose victim mode over progress. The poverty mindset would rather defend dysfunction than to improve their situation or change it. The poverty mindset defends cliche behavior. You know, with a poverty mindset comes a lot of the do as I say, not as I do ignorance. And unfortunately, a poverty mindset is committed to being stuck and stagnant because it's familiar and comfortable to be stuck and stagnant. So, in my hypergamous mind, being progressive and wanting better for your kids starts with you. It starts with parents. It starts with the example that you set for your kids because kids mirror what they see. And if your kids see you being committed to being better, they'll have no choice but to follow. So, with this parental dress code issue, why defend your right to look a mess when your kids are the ones who will benefit the most? Why defend your right to look toe up? What is wrong with having pride in your appearance? And I'm sorry, I need to say this, but unfortunately, it's the women who've completely let themselves go. The pick me chicks, the Barbara the Builders, the birds, the hood rats that think that looks and appearance don't matter. They're the ones walking around looking a hot mess, wondering why they attract dusty, low level men. So let me tell you something. Anyone who encourages you to not care about your appearance or tells you that looks don't matter or that it doesn't matter what you look like when you step outside your door is not a friend. Appearance and the way you carry yourself and the way you represent your family says a lot about you, whether you're a family of one, a family of two, a single parent, a dog, a fish, I don't care. Whether you want to accept it or not, appearance matters, looks matter, and they always will. Now, you are free to dress however you want, but you aren't free from the consequences. So when you're judged for your appearance, or you miss out on opportunities, financial opportunities, or no man of means wants to take you out, no man of means wants to impress you, take you out on a date, no man of means wants to step in and be a stepdaddy to your kid, then you'll know why. Because you look toe up. So parents, hood parents, stop embarrassing your kids. Your kids didn't ask to be here, so do better for them. Have some respect and pride for yourself and stop passing on generational ignorance. Let it end with you because it's not okay to dress like you don't care about yourself. And anyone who would encourage you to look any old kind of way, especially as a woman, is not your friend and definitely should not be anywhere in your circle of influence. When you look good, you win. When you look good, doors that were once closed open for you. And we need to teach this to our kids. So that's all I have to say on this. I'm not defending the indefensible when it comes to ignorance and people encouraging you to stay stuck in the mud or to sell yourself short and people who encourage you to think like a loser. The main ones who are defending this are the ones whose kids are in expensive private schools and their kids wouldn't be caught dead with the kids of ratchet parents. So sound off in the comment section. It's telling a parent what to wear or how to dress right or wrong. And as always, there's more level up content to come. So if you want to be a part of the tribe, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.